All right, what's going on? What's going on, everybody? No surrender.
No retreat.
What's up, everybody? We here another episode of No Surrender.
No retreat.
All right, today's topic we're going to talk about some interesting, serious, interesting things we need to touch base on today on today's episode of No Surrender.
No retreat.
All right. First of all, today we was having a little conversation earlier. We was talking about the Hassan Campbell, but now we're gonna go into the Ti and King controversy. First of all, I'm a little, puzzled about that whole situation. E nice. How do you feel about that Ti and King um, controversy?
You know what?
Father and son.
I definitely had to look at it three or four, like more than 3 or 4 times, but a lot of times to get different point of view. I would say, growing up, Ti was my favorite, one of my favorites, definitely. He definitely brought like the hood inside a lot of rap beats and a lot of rap stuff, and he stood on all 10 toes that I know of. You know what I mean? So listen to that young man, I can believe what he says and do. Seeing how much money he made and the things he's trying to accomplish now makes me even admire him more. If first time I seen it, I don't want to talk too much, but first time I seen it, I said, "Yo, you should have slapped the shit out of this little ass." Pushed his wig back, real talk. Gave him all 5 fingers across his motherfucking face. And then you'll see who real and who not real, who stands on that. If you about that business, homie. Because when he yokes you up, you, mommy, get him off me, mommy, get him off me. Nah, I get him off me, yo. If you about that noise, if you going to go to the bandos. But, I mean, I think, once again, I told us, we get too much respect from the person getting out of jail than the person who got out of college. We need to respect the people who are doing good instead of respecting the people who are doing bad. We got to do better. Like, I'm gonna let you talk a little bit, Rich, before I, go a lot deeper into this one.
Correct. Now, look, at the end of the day, what I feel about that is I feel that he didn't have to even come at his father like that at the end of the day. Because I feel as though you was a platinum silver spoon you came from a platinum silver spoon. You had a mother and father, they both celebrities in the game. So what my thing is, why do you want to portray yourself into that hood mentality? You should be proud and happy that you wasn't raised unfortunate. You have to look at it in a point of view from bird's eye view in point of view, however circumstances is. But I don't respect the fact of the matter how he came about the situation to his father. Like that's a whole embarrassment, and you and Ti felt some type of way about that. I would have felt some type of way about that too because you are my son, and it was just a little joke, and you took it seriously and took it to a whole nother level. I think King is wrong for coming at his father like that. And I think, to me, anybody who has kids need to understand that at the end of the day, your father or whoever that birthed you, you have to respect them at the end of the day. It's all about respect. No disrespect. It's all about respect your father and mother. At the end of the day, you cannot, with today's generation is like out of control. The way these kids are today, and I see in how this generation is, they have no respect at all
For nobody.
for no one, and I think that's also bad. And the parents do play a part of that. The parents do play the part of that because they let their kids do X, Y, Z, and they let them, basically they try to be friends with their kids. You
Yes,
cannot.
sir.
That's
Yes, sir.
that's the wrong thing to do when you're raising a child. A parent being friends with their child, that's no good. And then another thing too, you're calling your kids calling you by your your name
First name.
instead of calling you mom or pop. That's also not acceptable. So I think with that whole situation with the T.I. and King, King was out of line. He
Very,
was very out of line.
very. And then I was
But
saying,
We're going to
yeah,
continue with you on that.
just want to cut in for 2 seconds. We got this phone thing going on. You know what I mean? Like we doing a podcast now. We want to talk to y'all. He wanted to talk to his followers and stuff like that. So he had the podcast at his father's event, which you got invited to, young man. You didn't get invited there for you. You got invited there because your pops was doing a halftime show, and he's that respected. So can you give him that respect? Because he earned it. I don't know. We had a conversation like you're 19 now, I think. Like I'm 50, young man. I put 30 years in this street, not four. 30 years. So please act like we know it's a difference from that. That's 3 decades, young man. More than you ever been living. That's almost what, triple his life?
Yeah, definitely triple.
Stop acting like that, man. Like you see the little teeth, I got my teeth knocked out. You know what I mean? I done got my I'm back in what's that, training day? I got my wig pushed back, you hear me? For real. Or Hassan Campbell back on that. Got my snap box rock.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's very funny.
So let's
Very
have
funny.
fun. Like I was really saying, Tiny. There's a lot of things that went on that, but Tiny should have hit the stop button. Stop recording. This is not all about you, son, and we're not doing this on TV.
Correct.
Point blank.
Correct.
Ti, when I heard some of the things King was saying, I don't know what's going on in their household, what have going on in there, but he was saying, "Mom, why did you let him do this? Mom, why did you let him do this? Who is him?" I look at who is him? Your dad, nigga? That's who you hemming? Something's off with that one, homie. You went to your grandma's house to do what? You didn't want to be in the gated community. A lot of the kids in the ghetto want to be in the gated community, young man.
Yes.
That's the goal plan. That's the goal. That's the goat. The goat don't live in a project, nigga. The goat lives in some way. It's nice, and he got his kids, and he be raising them. That's what living is about. You only got one of these lives, homeboy. Act like it.
My thing with that whole situation is that if you came from a good family that raised you in a good home, why do you want to be a gangster and portray yourself as you want to be outside, you want to be around the hood, the projects, where it's gunshots ringing, murders, robbers, and thieves, and those type of environment? Why do you want to be around that? What are you going to get out of that? If I was raised with a mother, father who was rich, and I was handed a platinum silver spoon, I would appreciate that. I would love it because I'm traveling all over the world.
Yes.
I'm meeting all different types of people,
Yes.
and I'm in all different avenues, and I'm around people that's making money. I'm not around low level people. I'm around high level people. So you have to understand you shouldn't be ashamed of your family because your family are very important and they're celebrities. So I still don't understand what was the reason of him yelling and screaming at his father with his father was just joking with him and he was saying a point but he wasn't being serious and he was like, oh, I stand ground, you why you come on, if you know you're not that type of person, be yourself. Why you want to go in the hood to do? Why you want to go in the hood and act like you from the hood? I don't think it's a point of that. What are you proving? Is you trying to prove by doing that? So I think at the end of the day, a lot of these kids follow the wrong people. You gotta follow the people that's going to make you more successful and bring you up.
Up, young man, up.
And I think that was embarrassing for Ti and his family. I know Ti was upset. I don't blame Ti because at the end of the day, you king, you're a young man. You're supposed to be better than that.
Come think about it, Rich. I think I would have picked him up if I was Ti, put him in my passenger seat, we'd have rolled to the park, and I'd have told you to come see me. Since you stand on all that. And then I'd have told you how to show you you don't stand on that. You never did, never will. On you, Rich, man.
Like I said, the kids is is learning the wrong things, and we have to set example for these kids. We got to set an example for the youth so they become better people in life.
Yes.
Because at the end of the day, when you're a leader, you have to set examples as a leader. You have to be a leader who set good examples, because when you set wrong examples, they're going to follow the wrong examples. So as a, a man or as whoever or an individual, always set good examples, because you're going to always make it in life. But I think, to me, with King, I think King should apologize to his father.
All day and
As a
mama.
man, as a grown man, be like, Father, I'm wrong for what I did. And he should apologize to his father, because he's the one that birthed you. And your mother conceived you after that. But he's the one that birthed you. And your mother conceived you as a child. But at the end of the day, he's still your father. And you have to respect that man no matter what. Because he was around when you was a baby and until now.
I think he the one got them chains on your neck. He the one got that clothing line up and popping probably. He probably one bought your first car for you. And when you turned that age, you walked outside and you had a car. You know what I had to do for my car, young man? It's a whole different story on that one.
A lot of kids wasn't fortunate as a child because they didn't have a mother and father. They only had a mother or a father that raised them. So you should be fortunate to have two parents that took care of you and brought you up, and now look at you, and now you want to talk about, oh, you want to be in the hood, like you think the hood is where it's at,
Like
which is
sweet.
not.
They were saying before, I was like, I gotta tell them, like, I learned from a couple of people, they said, bullets don't have a target. They have a destination. The person shooting the gun or whatever has a target, but it don't always hit the target. It's gonna hit something. And if you out there and the shots get ringing, you can die just like that, young man. You don't want to be around that. That's nothing to be glorified about. You're gonna duck. You're gonna hide under the car, little nigga. Trust that.
And also another thing too, everybody think the hood is paradise. It's not. Every day is always a story, somebody getting murdered and killed. Every day. So why do we have to subject ourselves in the hood? Let's open our horizon and try and do different things. We could travel, we go to different places. The hood is not where it's at. But we have no choice because we in the hood, but we can, you know, we can distance ourselves from the hood in a certain type of way. We don't have to mm, program ourselves to be in the hood all the time. We can always find other avenues and become better. And we could make the hood better by bringing all positivity, all positivity.
Yeah, you can definitely start up a lot of things in your hood, and that's how you can bring your name in a like ATL. Because we know Ti, we knew Ti for years, and ATL. King, I don't think so. That's the son, all right. You ain't put that twerk in like I mean a lot of motherfuckers. You hear me? So let's fall back a little bit and go up and live that life. Like you're special, young man, very special. But let's go to the specialities of you and let's get that bigger. Let's not go to this like I don't even know if you ever played football, basketball, or had a fight. You know what I mean? They said you had a fight, but then I seen one dude as soon as he ran up on you, you ran to the car and pulled out the little hammer. If you was about that life, you should have snuck him right there. Put all 5 fingers across his jaw. But then, all right, you gonna go to the car because you knew he was bigger than you. All right.
I think to me, I suggest like what I mean. It's like we grew up in with our fists fighting. We grew up in fighting with our hands, but now
Right.
it's all about gun violence, shooting and killing somebody. It's like those days is over with. So if you try to fight with somebody, you can forget about it. You're not gonna make it. They're gonna shoot you in a heartbeat. So my best suggestion is anybody who's fortunate, stay fortunate. Don't try to hang in the streets and be in the hood because the hood is not where it's at. Just be fortunate that you have a silver spoon in your mouth,
Yes. Gold spoon,
a gold
platinum
spoon,
spoon,
platinum spoon in your
whatever
mouth.
you got.
Because those are the people that's very fortunate. Then the people who has to struggle and has to find out when the next meal or when they gotta go to work. You don't have to go through that. So you should be happy for that. Your father and your mother ain't gotta bust they behind to make ends meet. They already got it. So you should cherish that and be proud of that.
Now they were saying that you didn't grow up with the roach in the bed and all that. That's a little kind of far a little bit. But I have went to sleep for dinner. It wasn't nothing to eat, nigga. We just went to sleep. That's why you gotta make money. Like you gotta really be out there to make the money. If you don't think your father was Ti, your mother was Tiny, you can get away with some of the things you're getting away with. I would say one thing, and I don't really want to put too much on something. Somebody said I heard a little podcast. I heard the uncle in the background say, "Hey, I want to listen to your nephew. Go ahead and talk." I would say, some people don't need to be around younger people. Sometimes when a kid needs to talk, and sometimes when a kid needs to just shut up. And that was time for him just to fall back. It wasn't time for him to talk at his father's event. It was time to talk when you get invited to the event, young man, not when your father get invited.
Correct. And I think you should have like played your position or should stay home or however the circumstances was
Stay home.
or could have stayed in the house and then but you wanted to come, okay, cool, that was not a problem, but then you was doing the most, and then on top of that it was recorded and it was
By you.
viral
By you.
on social media.
Oh, yeah, I don't know
YouTube.
nothing about Atlanta. He said, hold up, this is the funny part. And I think they laughed at you in the background. Y'all don't know nothing about Atlanta. Then they said who they lost to. Then you agreed with that. Then you turned around and said, well, I respect Atlanta. I go to the game. Well, he said, y'all watch the games for the city, but I watch the games for the team. But then I represent the city. What the hell?
What was you trying to say? What were you talking about?
We the city, the team. Ain't that the same thing? The city and the team.
The
city,
same
the
thing.
team represents the city, and the city represents the team, right?
That's what I thought. That's what I'm thinking myself.
What the freaky?
Like it really kind of bugged me out when I was watching the whole podcast today. Like what he was trying to say what message he was trying to convert, or what he was trying to do. What he was
Not you, shh, young man. Shh.
exactly
You ain't old enough. You ain't put no twerk in. You ain't put 10 years, 20 years on no block. You ain't never had no pack what went wrong or whatever came back. You had to do that or whatever. I don't even know if you ran down on nobody. You got a lot of people helping you from your family, your father, man, who put that twerk in. If they wasn't beside you, who can you knock out?
correct. And you should be thankful and be and and praise them and be happy that you're not in a situation. You're in a very good situation with a good father and mother. You should be happy and be proud of that. Why do you want to go
To the
or
bandos.
or allegedly want to be in a bando and chill in the hood? I think that is ridiculous to me. But you already know. Like, subscribe, and comment.
No
We need
surrender.
no retreat.